Hi, students. Coming to you quickly just to give you a run through of the roundtable reflection that comes after your parent interview. So essentially, after you do your parent interview and have that assignment, you can have it in front of you, turned in, whatever you need. You're going to answer a few questions in the discussion board. So let me go ahead and share the screen and make sure that we get to see all the good stuff. And here we go. All right, so module 3, first roundtable reflection. Again, you must complete your parent interview assignment prior to completing this discussion. It will not make sense. You will not be able to answer these questions if you have not done your parent interview. Yikes. Okay, so again, the reason why I set up the module this way is so you have like a week to work on everything and then put it together like the second week. So don't let the due dates confuse you like you have all this time in the world, because you know time just slips away. So use your time wisely and get on this stuff early, okay? So again, after you've done your assignment, that's interviewing 2 parents and then putting that paper together, okay, you're going to go ahead and share what you've learned in the roundtable. So answer these 5 prompts using 5 to 10 sentences each. Again, separate your prompts with paragraphs so we know what you're talking about, okay? It's easier for people to interact with you when you make it easy for them to interact with you, okay? So which style of parenting do you think your parents used to raise you? Now, even if you didn't interview your parent, you can kind of guess now based on what you've learned in the reading, based on what you've done interviewing other parents. Maybe you interviewed a sibling. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you do all 5 of these prompts here. Right. Connect 2 things your parents did that align with the characteristics of that style. So for example, if I say my parents were permissive, I'm going to say like they would just take off on vacations. They wouldn't tell me where they were going. I didn't know when they would be home. There wasn't any food in the house, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I would identify behaviors that match that style. Okay. Number 3, what are the major influences that led to that parenting style? Well, maybe my parents were hyper parented, by my boomer parents maybe were hyper parented and they didn't want to be parented like that. So they just kind of threw it off to the wind. Or maybe they were, using drugs or whatever kind of situation. And some parents just don't want to be parents. So whatever. Right. So what are the influence? Why did they get that way? Why did they turn out that way? Number 4, compare the parenting styles of your parents, how you were raised with those of the families you interviewed. Did they match up? Did they not match up? Are they same? Are they different? Right. And lastly, what is one way you think your parents' parenting style impacted you as a child? And one way you believe their parenting style impacts you today? Now, I can tell you as a parent myself, there's certain things that I say, like, I'm never going to be like my parents. And every once in a while stuff comes out. I just have to make sure that I'm still doing it with something in mind, meaning like, am I focused on safety? Am I focused on health and wellness? Or am I saying, do it because I said so? No. So every once in a while, I'm like, oh, that has to be clean. He's like, why do you have to be so clean? I was like, well, I was raised in a clean house and I like it like that. And there's times where I don't like it like that and I just let it go, So again, we are who we are based on how we were socialized, but as adults, we get to make different choices. So again, as you put 5 to 10 sentences each for these prompts, this is college. And this is a very important class for everybody. This will help you in your other classes. It will help you in your life. This will help you in your future career. After you put these prompts down, discuss with your peers. Now, you don't have to talk about every single thing they wrote. You could say, oh, I totally had that same experience when I was a kid, or I hear your voice through your work. Like you can make some nice comments. And sometimes people get into some really deep comments about, our parents aren't perfect. And, if you were raised to say that, you never talk back and things like that, parents have their own struggles. And if you try to understand them a little bit, it goes a long way. Right. So again, always use your peer's name. It's always nice. So I'm looking for an actual conversation here instead of like, oh, I liked your post. Like, what did you like about it? Tell me. Maybe you say that affected me when I heard you say that. It's almost, consider it maybe like a TikTok without a video and be like, oh, I heard your words and that sounded really tough. Or I see how you could draw those conclusions, or that makes sense to me. How is it affecting you still? Things like that. You can do that. This is, again, we have a little bit of anonymity in a online discussion board, but we still have feelings even in the online environment. So be kind, be professional, and be collegiate. There's a link to APA referencing and the rubric. So hopefully this helps. And again, like always, reach out if you need some more support because I'm here for it. Okay, thanks. Trying to use the buttons to stop recording and it's not working. Alt and R.